Stop lying. You didn't wait for confirmation. You froze. You were scared to click. And every time you hesitate, the market moves on without you. While you sit there pretending discipline is the problem, when it's really fear that's running your account. If you've ever seen a clean setup and felt yourself hesitate, this video is for you. Not because you lack discipline or knowledge, but because fear quietly shows up in moments like that. Let's talk about why traders freeze. What's really happening in the body when it occurs, and how to move through it so you can finally execute with clarity and confidence. Stay with me. This might explain more than you expect. The fear of facing your fears is harder to overcome than the fear itself. Author unknown. First, let's explore freezing at the moment of entry. You see the setup. You know it meets your rules, and your body locks up. Well, from an evolutionary standpoint, freezing is not failure, it's survival. The human nervous system evolved to prioritize safety over opportunity. When uncertainty appears, the brain scans for danger, not profit. In trading, price movement mimics that threat. Speed, unpredictability, and potential loss activate ancient survival circuits designed for predators, not markets. The solution isn't to push through fear, but to retrain your nervous system to recognize trading risks as non-lethal. Repetition and controlled exposure, small size, predefined risks, and consistent routines teaches your brain that entering a trade does not equal danger. Safety must be felt in the body before confidence can exist in the mind. Psychologically, freezing often comes from anticipatory regret, which is the fear of future shame if the trade fails. Your mind jumps ahead, imagining how bad it would feel to be wrong. That emotional forecast overwhelms the present moment, hijacking all your decision making. The remedy is shifting from outcome-based thinking to process-based execution. Instead of asking, will this trade win? You ask, did I follow my rules? This reframes the moment of entry from a judgment of your intelligence to a neutral behavioral task, dramatically reducing paralysis. Culturally, many traders, especially those from the Black community, carry an unspoken fear of making mistakes publicly or financially. When failure has historically carried higher consequences, hesitation becomes self-protection. Freezing isn't laziness, it's learned caution. Healing this means acknowledging that trading is one of the few environments where mistakes are not moral failures. Losses are data, not indictments. Reclaiming the right to experiment, fail, and learn without self-punishment is a powerful act of cultural conditioning. From a faith perspective, freezing often reflects a struggle with trust, not just in the market, but in oneself and in God. The moment of hesitation becomes a moment of questioning. What if I fail? What if I'm wrong again? Faith reframes entry as obedience, not outcome. You're not responsible for results, only for faithfulness to the process you've prepared. When trust shifts from control to stewardship, fear loosens its grip. Next, there's hesitating until the trade is gone. By the time you're ready, price has already moved. Evolution favors caution over speed. Waiting allowed our ancestors to survive uncertain environments. But in trading, hesitation often turns opportunity into regret. The brain's delay is an outdated safety mechanism, misapplied to modern markets. The fix is decision automation. Pre-commit to entries before the market opens. When criteria are met, execution becomes mechanical, not emotional. You're not deciding in the moment. You're following a plan made in safety. Psychologically, hesitation is driven by perfectionism, the belief that you need more confirmation to avoid pain. But perfectionism disguises fear as prudence, keeping you trapped in analysis instead of action. The solution is embracing probabilistic thinking. No trade is perfect. Your job is not certainty, it's consistency. When you accept that uncertainty is the cost of participation, hesitation loses its authority. Culturally, hesitation can be rooted in being taught to be careful, not mess up, or wait your turn. These messages, while protective in life, can sabotage decisive action in trading. Rewriting this narrative means granting yourself permission to act without over-explaining. You don't need to justify every decision. In the market, decisiveness is not recklessness. It's respect for timing. Faith invites courage in motion, not clarity before movement. Many spiritual traditions emphasize stepping forward before seeing the full outcome. Hesitation dissolves when you internalize that provision often follows obedience, not the other way around. Trusting God doesn't mean ignoring risks. It means trusting that preparation plus faith is enough to act without fear. And then there's second guessing yourself mid-trade. You enter, then immediately doubt the decision. The brain evolved to constantly reassess danger. Once in a trade, it keeps scanning for threats, interpreting normal price movement as risk escalation. This leads to panic exits or interference. The evolutionary fix is clear containment, which is predefined stops and targets. When risk is already decided, the brain has less to monitor. Safety is restored through structure. Second guessing is often rooted in low self-trust. Past mistakes create internal doubt, making it hard to stay committed even when rules are followed. Rebuilding trust requires tracking rule adherence, not profits. Confidence grows when you prove to yourself that you can follow through, regardless of the outcome. Culturally, many people are conditioned to doubt themselves, especially when authority or expertise has historically excluded them. This externalized doubt becomes internalized trading. The solution is reclaiming authorship of your decisions. Your process is valid because you built it intentionally. You don't need external validation to stay in a trade. Faith reframes doubt as a moment to surrender control. Once the trade is placed, release attachment to the outcome. Anxiety comes from trying to manage what's already been entrusted. Peace follows when you remember this. You are not the market's manager. You are a steward of your decisions. And finally, I'll uncover the trading psychology of avoiding the next trade after a loss.
Pause. Before you scroll, before you open another chart, before you take the next trade, just pause for one moment. And first, I want to genuinely thank you for watching this channel. Because if you're here, chances are you're trying to figure this market out. And that alone takes courage. Trading is exciting when it's working, but when it's not, it can feel frustrating, confusing, and even a little defeating. You study indicators, you watch videos, you try to follow strategies, but somehow the market still moves in ways that leave you thinking, why did it reverse right after I entered? Why does it hit my stop and then go exactly where I thought it would? Well, let me say something that many trading channels won't tell you. Most traders aren't struggling because they lack intelligence. They're struggling because they're trying to trade without clear levels and structure. They're reacting emotionally instead of preparing strategically. That's exactly why I created our free trading community. Inside the group, I share the exact SPY levels I'm watching for the next trading day, the areas where the market is most likely to react. These levels give you something every trader needs but rarely has: clarity. Instead of guessing, you're prepared. Instead of chasing, you're patient. Instead of trading fearfully, you're trading with structure. And the best part, it's completely free. So if you want access to tomorrow's SPY levels and a community of traders learning to approach the market with discipline and confidence, join the free group in the description below. Then come back here and comment levels so I can personally welcome you into the community. You don't have to navigate the market alone. Let's trade with clarity.
One loss makes you afraid to enter again. Loss triggers pain circuits designed to prevent repeated harm. The brain flags similar situations as threats, even when conditions have changed. The solution is graduated re-entry, reducing size temporarily while maintaining participation. This teaches the nervous system that loss is survivable and not a signal to retreat entirely. Psychologically, this pain point is driven by loss aversion. Simply put, losses feel more intense than gains. Fear of repeating pain overrides logic. Reframing losses as tuition, not trauma, restores balance. Every professional trader has paid this cost. You are not behind. You are learning. In cultures where financial mistakes carry shame, losses can feel devastating. Avoidance becomes a way to protect dignity. Healing means separating self-worth from performance. A loss does not diminish your value. It only informs your growth. Faith reminds us that setbacks are not signals of abandonment. They are part of refinement. Avoidance dissolves when you believe that nothing, loss included, is wasted. You are not disqualified by a red trade. You are, however, being trained. You are not broken for feeling this way. The hesitation, the fear, the moments where your body locks up even though your mind knows better. These are human responses to uncertainty, not personal failures. Trading has a way of revealing stress patterns that already exist, and the fact that you recognize them means you are already more self-aware than most. If you've ever wondered why you can't explain trading psychology perfectly but still struggle to execute, hear this clearly. Understanding is not the same as regulation. Your nervous system learned how to protect you long before you ever opened a chart. What you're experiencing isn't weakness. It's your body doing its job just in a place it was never trained for. You're also not alone in this. So many traders quietly carry shame, believing everyone else has it figured out while they're the exception. The truth is most traders experience fear and freezing. They just don't talk about it. Silence creates isolation, and isolation makes the struggle feel heavier than it needs to be. There is nothing wrong with needing support, structure, or guidance. Growth doesn't come from pushing harder against yourself. It comes from learning how to work with yourself. When trading starts to feel safer, clarity returns. When clarity returns, consistency follows. And consistency, not perfection, is what builds confidence. Your past losses do not define your future potential. They're not proof that you can't do this. They are data points from a nervous system that hasn't yet been trained for this environment. And the good news, nervous systems are adaptable. With the right tools, repetition, and compassion, your responses can change. That's exactly why I created a resource guide to walk you through this more deeply. It's designed to help you slow down, identify what's really happening in those moments of fear or hesitation, and begin retraining your responses step by step. This isn't about fixing you. It's about supporting you. If this resonates, I invite you to download the guide using the link below. Take your time with it. Use it alongside your trading. Let it be a place where insights turn into practice. You don't have to rush, and you don't have to do this alone. You're allowed to learn, to grow, and succeed, one regulated step at a time. And if you truly want to level up your trading mindset, it starts with a shift most people overlook, moving from competition to cooperation. The market isn't something you have to fight, and neither are the people learning alongside you. Growth accelerates when we share insight, normalize the struggle, and support one another instead of pretending we have it all figured out. So if something in this episode resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with another trader who might be silently struggling. Drop a comment and let others know they're not alone. Like this episode so it reaches the people who need it most, and subscribe if you want to keep building a trading mindset rooted in clarity, regulation, and long-term consistency. We level up faster when we do this together. You've got this. Peace and blessings. Dr. O.